The following is a presentation of William Peace University Athletics. The Pacers Sports Network is on the air. This is WPU basketball on the Pacers Sports Network. Here's your voice for Pacers basketball, Darren Vaught.
From downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, Darren Vaught with you on the Pacers Sports Network to bring you the first of my two games on the call today. This the women's basketball team here at William Peace University's Senior Day as they host Greensboro College in style, looking for their second USA South Conference win of the season. Greensboro, meanwhile, one of the better teams in this USA South Conference, so in order to do so, the Pacers will have to play pretty well. Last time out for each of these teams, the Pacers just very recently bringing home that they beat Mary Baldwin College here at the Herm by a score of 82-53. Again, that the Pacers, they're now 7-17 overall. Upward, one win in a row. 4-8 here at Greensboro, meanwhile. 13-9 overall, 9 wins, 4 losses in conference play, but they lost their last time out, 6-3 in road games this season. And just Wednesday, they lost at home to Ferrum College, 65-42. So a pretty sizey win there for Ferrum. And as a matter of fact, this isn't the last regular season matchup of the season for the Pride. They have William Peace today. They'll actually head to Fayetteville tomorrow for a matchup against Methodist. And then see how their fate plays out for USA South Conference tournament seeding. As I mentioned, they sit 4th in the conference so far. So we are about Senior Day with Alexis Arm in it until that buzzer sounds, and then there will be a little bit of a to-do about that, announcing her as the senior. Minutes until tip here. William Peace University hosting the Greensboro College Pride in women's basketball action on the Pacers Sports Network. I'm Darren Vaughn. I'll have all the action for you today, including the men's game at 5 o'clock. Stay with us.
You, my friend, have connections in the government. 1-800-FED-INFO, the official source for all government information. And like any good connection, getting student loan information, next thing you know, you need job hunting tips. So whether you have information to get or ideas to give your government, call 1-800-FED-INFO. Who knows? Money-saving tips today could lead to retirement planning tomorrow.
The world's future rests in the hands of our young people. Internationally, today's youth are involved at an earlier age, participating in programs for the betterment of their communities. Still, guidance is needed. Lions Clubs International, tomorrow's leaders are guaranteed the skills needed to get the job done. This message brought to you by Lions Clubs International. We serve.
This is William Peace basketball on the Pacers Sports Network.
Phase 1, clear takeoff, runway 14. Runway 14, push.
Here we go.
Please proceed to the highlighted route and then
system, or GPS, developed by the U.S. military, has been operational for civilian use.
After 0.2 of a mile, turn right.
Phase 1, clear to land. Runway 14.
Today, the men and women of the Air Force Reserve continue their vital mission, guiding you safely on your way while protecting the freedoms we all enjoy. The United States Air Force Reserve, guiding and protecting America.
This is William Peace Basketball on the Pacers Sports.
Back with you at the Herm Pacers Sports Network. Darren Vaught with you here to bring you the action for this 1 o'clock tip. William Peace University women's basketball playing host to the Greensboro College Pride here at the Herm. And that perhaps a little more intimate of a senior day celebration, as there's just one on this Pacers team, Alexis Armstrong. But
an important message from Medicare.
When my son first told me about extra help from Medicare, I said, thanks, but no thanks. I didn't want any help paying for my prescriptions. I told him, I looked into it a couple years ago. I figured if I didn't qualify then, I wouldn't qualify now either. My, oh my, am I ever glad my son didn't give up on me. He reminded me that I was on a limited income and that it was easier than ever for people like me to qualify. So I called, and he was right. Now I pay just a few dollars for generics and a few dollars more for brand name prescriptions. With extra help, I can afford the prescriptions I need. Thanks, Medicare.
Get the extra help you need to stay healthy. Visit socialsecurity.gov or call 1-800-772-1213.
This is William Peace Basketball on the Pacers Sports Network.
starting lineups about to be announced here on the Pacers Sports Network. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Saturday here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Darren Vaught with you here on the Pacers Sports Network. Just about set to get things tipped off. William Peace University, the Pacers playing host to the Greensboro College Pride in USA South action. And as starters are currently being announced, I will inform you of those. For Greensboro College, it'll be starting off with number 13, Marla Crawford, junior guard out of Graham, North. Down in the post out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. For your William Peace University Pacers, one obvious starter would be Alexis Armstrong, the lone senior on this Pacers squad. She comes from Burgon, North Carolina. Great career for the Pacers, and we will hopefully send her off in impressive fashion. We'll see. Tanae McKenzie, the freshman guard from Chinkapin, North Carolina. Cassidy Clark out of Little Axe, Oklahoma, sophomore swing. She's listed at guard/forward. Tamara Murphy, the junior from Clinton, North Carolina. And then rounding out the starting lineup for the Pacers is going to be number 20, Susanna Sykes, the sharpshooting freshman out of Nashville, North Carolina. I suppose they like music in that Nashville as well. Their white uniforms, black and white. The team's actually wearing identical shoes. Both teams so tipping things off for both. And then it appears to be Monica Smalls jumping it off with her. So the tip is up. It's won by Smalls. She actually bats it up court where she had a teammate, Marla Crawford, drive all the way to the basket, tried to sneak a pass inside, but it was batted away out of bounds. Last touch by a Greensboro player, so it'll be Peace's ball. Greensboro with full court pressure to start things off. Clark gets it to Sykes and across midcourt to Armstrong, and she's going to go against her defender and go straight to the Pacers. Armstrong set to put up her second on the board on her senior day. Greensboro with the board as they bring it back up into the front court. Crawford handling the ball for the Pride. Picks up her dribble, an overhead pass to the left side. Back to Crawford on the right wing. Hasn't put it on the floor yet. She does now. She's defended by to Crawford, and she'll back out to run the offense. 4 on the shot clock. Crosses up, and Armstrong is able to shed her person there. McKenzie came up with the help defense after a screen was set on the left side. McKenzie got a couple of hands on the ball and forced the jump ball, which gives the possession back to the Pacers. So McKenzie across the timeline for William Peace. Goes to the left wing. Clark fakes right on Smalls and drives left. Went right by her, banks it in for Greensboro, pushing it in transition. And it's McCoy down in the corner. Tried to, as she set her feet, fake one way and put up a turnover. Still some full court pressure from Greensboro, but Clark to McKenzie to Sykes at midcourt breaks that. Sykes from 15 feet out on the left elbow, buried on the left wing. Overhead pass up top to Crawford. Now Crawford's going to call a signal to run a play. She goes up top to Williams, receives the handoff, and bridles the offense. Overhead pass to the left corner for 3. It's off the back of the rim. That was from Alexis Height. Rebounded by the Pacers. Cassidy Clark, no numbers. She was ahead of all of her teammates, so she's going to pull up from 15 feet and pass it back outside to Sykes. McKenzie drives, gets it to Murphy, 15-footer from the right baseline. Sails over the rim and is rebounded by the defense. And Smalls banks it in off the high glass for an easy 2. Greensboro finally on the board. Clark at midcourt to break the press. Bounce pass to a cutting Murphy, and the Pacers 7-2 start here. They're on a roll breaking this Greensboro press. Inside to Smalls, who turns around to put up the Sykes. So Smalls will go to the free throw line for the Pride. Pacers 7, Pride 2 with 7 minutes, 42 seconds to play in the first quarter of action. And William Peace off to a tremendous start so far as Smalls puts up her first free throw and it rims out. She'll have a second attempt on the way. That one in nearly identical fashion. Bounces off the back of the rim and is boarded by Armstrong of the Pacers. She gets it to Clark on the outlet. Quickly to the right wing, Susanna Sykes. Bang! 10-2 Pacer lead. 7.5 minutes to play in the first. And Greensboro quickly is going to go down the court and go underneath to Smalls. Nice fake as she pivoted left, turned around right, and drops it in for 2. So it's 10-4 now as Armstrong has it on the right wing for the Pacers. Down in the corner to Sykes, and the Pacers will swing it all the way to the left side to McKenzie. Chest pass to the left corner. She's got Murphy and will receive it back. So McKenzie driving right side, has it knocked away, but it's reeled in bounded by Crawford. Greensboro pushing the tempo. Swinging around to the right side. Long 3. Is too strong, but boarded and put back by Williams. Height was the Pride member who put up the shot initially. And Sykes to Armstrong in the front court, 2-on-1, Armstrong and Murphy. Armstrong's just going to go straight up and be fouled by Smalls again. As the Pacers having their way with this Greensboro 3 seconds to play in the first quarter of action. So Smalls commits the foul. Armstrong's first free throw thuds off the back of the iron and out. 10-6 Pacer lead, 6:33 to play. And is off the front of the rim and out. She's 1 of 4 in free throw attempts so far today. Rebounded by Greensboro. Crawford to Height down the key, and it's picked off by Murphy. She gets it to McKenzie, who on the other end hands off to Sykes. Three-pointer is a little off. Rims in and out and is batted out of bounds on a rebound attempt by Greensboro. Looked like Williams the last to have a hand on it for the Pride. So it'll be an inbound pass underneath the. Williams will check out of the contest for Greensboro, as will Height. So a few new faces on the floor for the Pride. McKenzie, the catalyst to this play, hits Sykes in the right corner, fakes the three, dribbles in from 15 feet out, hits it nothing but net. 12-6 with 6:07 to play in the first. Crawford right at the NCAA logo, one-handed bounce pass to the corner, and she'll receive it back up top. Now the Pride for three. Excuse me, that's number 12 rather than 11. That's Alyssa Carbone on the three-pointer for the Pride. Freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hit it nothing but net and made it a three-point game. Cassidy Clark on the left wing. Fakes left and drives right toward the paint. Kicks it to Tanae McKenzie. Now Murphy in the corner. Back to McKenzie on the wing. She gets a screen. Puts up the 16 side of the rim, boarded by Greensboro. Crawford, underneath pass in transition, but the layup is too strong from Courtney Pearsall. And Hannah Erickson just checked into the game for the Pacers, grabs the rebound, clears it out to Clark, who drives baseline all the way on the other end. Too strong. A little bit of contact on the shot. Pass mishandled by Pearsall and stolen by McKenzie down on the other end. Very fast-paced game with 5 to play in the first. Pacers lead it by 3, 12-9. McKenzie to the right side where it's Susie Sykes. Gets a screen, pick and roll, executed perfectly. She dumped it into Hannah Erickson, who banks it in for another 2. 5-point lead for the Pacers as Crawford crosses the timeline. She's got Carbone on the right wing. The key on Smalls this time. Freshman from Asheville seeing her first minutes of the game for Greensboro. So now it's Zayna Gooden and Deja Cheatham in the backcourt to bring it up for the Pacers, who lead 14-9. Right wing, Susanna Sykes, pump fake, drives, nothing doing, and goes back up top to Gooden. They swing it around, and now it's in Armstrong's hands over in the left corner. Back up top to Sykes, around to Gooden on the right wing, puts it on the floor. At the elbow, she's got Eric, dribbles out, try to step back three-pointer, but loses her handle, and it's going to result in a shot clock violation. The turnover gives it back to Greensboro. Pacers lead it by 5, 14-9. Against currently the fourth best team in the conference in Greensboro. As a new backcourt for the Pride in Courtney Pearsall and Shamara Richardson. Richardson to the right wing where she's got Armstrong of the Pacers. Backdoor screen. Armstrong wasn't able to get there in time to defend it. And that makes it a 2-point game, 14-12. Deja Cheatham looking left, crosses over right, and she's going to be called for carrying the ball. So a quick unforced error there. Turns it back over to the Pride with 3.5 minutes in the first. Cheatham defending Richardson. A little bit of contact, no call though, and Richardson swings it around to Height on the left wing. Down underneath, and a little anxious on that pass was Erickson. She tried to play the ball, ended up getting burned there as Pearsall had plenty of by. It looked like Richardson. As Richardson now with it up top, goes to the top of the circle to Pearsall. Richardson, Height in the left corner. She's defended by Erickson. Got her in the air, dribbles out to the left elbow, puts up the shot, and it rattles in. So Greensboro's got its first lead of the game, 16-14 with 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Cheatham gets a screen high from and is going to be fouled by Richardson. So Deja Cheatham will go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. 58 seconds to play in the first quarter here at the Herm. And Cheatham on the year, 62% as her first. Fails to go through. It rims out. Cheatham's second free throw attempt on the way. Hits the back of the net and falls through to reel it within 1. Richardson in, and it's going to be a foul as she's driving to the basket from behind. Cheatham with the reach sent Richardson to the floor. So Richardson will get set to trigger it in from the baseline. for the Pacers. Quick pass to the right wing. It's Height again. Good rotation, but it rims out. Strong reels left. Gets it to Zayna Gooden. Sneaks a bounce pass inside to Murphy. They go back out, though, and Gooden again will go look to Murphy. Murphy spins strong right and banks it in hard off the glass to make it a 17-16 lead for the Pacers. Richardson on the other to the opposite wing, and Carbone with the three-point shot attempt sails over the rim, boarded by Gooden. 17-16 lead for William Peace. McKinney puts it up from 10 feet out, nothing but net. As it's a three-point lead for the Pacers. Carbone on the left wing. Tried to back down Gooden, but instead elects to go back out to the point guard, Richardson, who picks up her dribble. Swallowed up by McKenzie and is going to get bailed out by Pearsall. Back to Richardson on the left wing. Bounce pass inside. She was looking for Heather Burton and overthrew the pass as it goes out of bounds in the first quarter. 19-16, William Peace leads over Greensboro College here on the Pacers Sports Network. Makes a pass inside to Murphy, and as Murphy was receiving the pass, she's going to be fouled from behind by Cameron Williams. That's the fourth foul on Greensboro, so one more, and it will put them in the bonus. 58 seconds to play in the first quarter, though. As McKenzie looks from underneath the basket for the inbound pass, she bounces it into Murphy. Murphy had a good look, but the shot goes off the side of the backboard and out of bounds, giving it back to Greensboro. Pride trails by 3 here on the road at the Herm. Crawford defended by McKenzie. Goes right side. She's got Carbone driving for the first time this contest. Carbone thought about the three, but saw a seam, and she took it on Gooden and is going to be fouled as she put up the layup attempt. So Carbone with a pair of free throws on the way. Foul charged to Murphy of the Pacers as Carbone buries her first and reels it within 2. 19-17 Pacers lead. 44.6 seconds on the clock in the first quarter of action. Carbone's second free throw on the way. It's in nothing but net, but a whistle will negate that as there was a lane violation. Does not count, and it goes back to the Pacers. 2-point Peace lead, 19-17. Under a minute to play in the first quarter as McKenzie is at midcourt. Crossover to the right side and goes to Clark on the wing. Clark tries to get a screen from Murphy, but a little bit of congestion there. She loses her handle, and it's a scrap on the floor for it. Height gets a couple of hands on it and forces the jump ball in time to stop the clock at 30.4 seconds as Greensboro now again with the ball. Crawford with a chest pass to Height on Crawford now on the left side. Bounce pass underneath. Strong shot, a little too strong as it's off the rim, but boarded and put back by Deja Joyner. Strong effort on the offensive glass to tie things at 19. 6 seconds on the shot clock. McKenzie hands it off to Sykes for 3 off the back of the rim. It was online. Just a little too much on it from Sykes on the right wing, and we go into the first break. Tied at 19 after a quarter of play. Greensboro women's basketball action. As we are all knotted up. And Alexis Height leads the way for Greensboro with 5 points. Meanwhile, Sykes leads all scorers with 7. She's 1 of 3 from deep, 3 of 5 from the field. Good first quarter for Cassidy Clark. 4 points and 4 rebounds. That would put her on pace for a double-double in this contest. Or 10-6 in that category. Both teams shooting 50% or higher from the field. But Peace has led just about 8.5 minutes of the 10 minutes we've played so far in this contest. Forcing 7 Greensboro turnovers in just a quarter of action. So we come out for the second quarter. It'll be the starting five back into the game for the Pacers as Clark sends the inbound pass to McKenzie at midcourt. McKenzie gets a screen from Armstrong, drives right side, and hands off at the perimeter to Clark, who dribbles left, gives it to Armstrong for the long Crawford of the Pride. Crawford at the NCAA logo here nearest to us on press row. Dribbles all the way left, drives left side, puts up the shot. It's way too high off the glass, and it looked as if Crawford was poked in the eye. She'll get the foul call. She's still favoring her left eye before shooting her first of two free throws, as it was charged to Sykes. That's her second personal, first of the quarter for either team. Sykes, in between free throws, will check out in favor of Zayna Gooden. And both free throws lead for Greensboro. 21-19, 9-29. Chest pass to the right to Murphy. Down in that far corner now, it's Cassidy Clark. She dribbles into the block, puts up a shot. Adjusted a little bit too much for Smalls, who was attempting to block it, and sails it over the rim. Rebound, picks up her dribble at the perimeter, goes right corner to Alexis Height. Immediately with a chest pass inside, turnaround jumper is off the side of the backboard from Pearsall, and it bounces out of bounds to surrender the possession back to the Pacers. As McKenzie strolls through the backcourt, gets to the perimeter, hits Deja Cheatham in the corner, wide open for three, and she gets it to go. 1 point lead for the Pacers after the pass to Smalls, where only Smalls could get it, and she banks it in for two underneath. That makes it 23-22 Pride lead with 8:34 to play in the second quarter of action. And Coach Kelly Johnson of the William Peace Pacers is going to get a timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout as well here on the Pacers.
Today, across the Triangle, nearly 300 children are homeless. 1,000 children survive a period of homelessness. Want to know what you can do to help end homelessness? Call United Way's 211 line. Simply dial 211 for ideas. I am Durham City Councilwoman Diane Katati, and I approve this message.
So just a quick break here on the Pacers Sports Network. After the 30-second timeout taken by the Pacers, 8:22 to play in the second quarter. They trail by one against the Greensboro College Pride. Swinging around left side to Armstrong. She goes back up top to McKenzie. Steps hard into her defender on the right side as she puts up the shot and will be fouled by Courtney Pearsall of the Pride. 8:15 to play as the clock stops for McKenzie's free throws. McKenzie's first is up, and that careens in off the right side of the inside of the net to tie things up at 23. McKenzie, 1 point lead for the Pacers. Crawford gets the inbound pass, makes her way up the court quickly for the Pride. They swing it around to the left side where they've got Alexis Height. Now down on the baseline, Crawford bounce pass, receives it back outside in the corner. Long three off the far side of the rim and out. And it's going to be a foul on the rebounding attempt by Smalls. Smalls commits her second personal foul. That's the second team foul on Greensboro in the second quarter of play. McKenzie dribbles left side, has it knocked away by Crawford, but regains it and goes to the wing where she's got Erickson. Give and go, goes back inside to Erickson, who is going to be fouled as she tried to receive the pass. This time, it's again called on Smalls. So Smalls immediately will be taken out of the game with her third personal foul. That's the third team foul of the quarter for Greensboro. McKenzie set to trigger it in for the Pacers. Inbound pass goes to Gooden on the left wing. Three-point shot attempt off the back of the rim, boarded by Greensboro. Crawford floats a pass underneath the and the hook by Greensboro. Pacers again with it. They lead by one, 24-23. 7:23 to play in the first half of action. McKenzie gets a high screen from Erickson, drives right. Hands it off to Gooden. who goes up to the elbow where Erickson is defended by 3 Greensboro defenders. Drives to the block, puts up the layup attempt. She can't get it to go, but of course she's going to get the foul. And congestion there. It was Burton charged with it. And now that's 4 team fouls with 7 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter of action for Greensboro. Erickson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 3.5% from the stripe so far on the season. First is up and rips the net. It's in to make it 25-23. The Pacers lead. Deja Joyner checks back in of 2 free throws. It's 3. William Peace with the lead. 7:11 to play in the second quarter. Crawford into the front court for the Pride. Barking orders to her teammates as she's defended by McKinney. Up top to Crawford. As Joyner didn't like what she had down there on the baseline. Crawford crosses up one way, then the other. Drives, goes right side. Where the three-point attempt from Brianna Stanton rolls in to tie it up at 26. That was with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gooden for the Pacers on the other end, up top to Cheatham. 6.5 to play in the first with Erickson, but the pass underneath is batted out of bounds by Greensboro. McKenzie will check out. Cheatham and Sykes now into the game for the Pacers. Cheatham with the inbound pass to Armstrong. Now on the block to Erickson, and Erickson can't get her own rebound after the miss. Sensational job by Burton to block her out. Crawford goes coast to coast after the rebound, bounces the ball, but is going to be fouled. That's called on Sykes. That's going to be her 3rd personal. So a little bit of foul trouble for her as well. As Joyner's first free throw rattles 7-26. Cassidy Clark checks back into the game for Sykes. Joyner's second is off the left side of the rim, and Erickson wins the rebounding battle this time. She and Burton, a lot of contact, but the Pacers come down with it. Cheatham at midcourt, looking to dial something up. Bounce pass to the right from Clark, but Clark is pushed to the ground as she applied the screen. And that the 5th foul of the quarter will send Clark to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Foul committed by Joyner, and that's her first. Got a Little Axe, Oklahoma, puts up her first, and it rolls off the back of the rim and out. With exactly 6 minutes on the clock. Little spin, she puts up the second. It's no problem, nothing but net. Ties the, makes it 27-27. Height on the other end for Greensboro buries the 3. 30-27 lead for the Pride. 5:44 remaining in the second quarter. Armstrong on the right wing. Up top to Clark for the Pacers. Around to Cheatham, and underneath is Erickson. Puts it up, and it's swatted out of bounds by Burton. That'll give the ball back to the Pacers. Shot clock stops at 17. Off, floats up a pass to Erickson. She lobs it up at the rim. Off the front of the rim and rolls out, rebounded by Greensboro. Good defense again by Burton there. Crawford in the middle of the floor, kicks it out to the right corner, and it's Stanton again. Her three-pointer rolls in and makes it a 6-point lead for the Pride. 30. Cheatham, chest pass to the left to Erickson, hands it off to Gooden and cuts to the basket. Gooden can't get it into her. Burton swallowed up Erickson. Long 2 from the right baseline from Armstrong. Nearly banks in, but it's short off the front side of the rim as Crawford is going to dribble all the way down to the other side of the court. Violation, according to one official, that is superseded by another call, and it's going to be a pushing foul on Cheatham. So that'll instead leave possession with the Pride, who lead 33-27 here at the Herm. As we're now under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Crawford has to send the inbound pass up top at midcourt, and Sprints back up there to receive the handoff to run the offense. Drives right side, floats it up. Too strong with the board. And putback attempt by Stanton, although she couldn't get it to fall through. Stanton will be fouled. And that one's charged to Hannah Erickson of the Pacers. Her first personal, fourth team foul of the quarter for the Pacers. Makes it a 7-point lead for Greensboro. Seconds as Stanton's second is true as well, 35-27. Stanton will check out of the contest in favor of McCoy, who started for the Pride, back into the game. And now the Pacers find themselves 8 points down. McKenzie hits Gooden on the left wing. It's right side, floats it off the left side of the backboard. Too strong as it's off the front of the rim and boarded by McCoy. She floats it up the court to Carbone. Back toward the middle of the court to Creighton. Shovel step to the right side, misses, and it's boarded by Erickson. And those two are really going at it on the top of the key. Outside to Gooden now. She thinks about the three, but goes to the right corner to Murphy. They swing it around. Cheatham this time for three. From the top, overthrown. Didn't get the rim. Picks up her dribble and goes up top where she's got Pearsall, who will drive on McKenzie, top of the circle. So it's on the floor, but nonetheless, it's two shots. That's the fifth team foul of the second quarter for the 3 minutes and 44 seconds until halftime. Pearsall's first is up and in, high arching shot. Rolls in off the front of the rim. Erickson checks out for the Pacers as Armstrong re-enters the contest, the lone senior on this Pacers squad here on Senior Day. Pearsall's second off the back of the rim. Looked like it may have fallen through on the second chance there, but it's out and boarded by Armstrong of the Pacers. They get it to McKenzie on the other end, on the right corner. Fakes the pass right, goes underneath on the left side. Now out to Clark on the left wing. Picks up her dribble from 10 feet out, hands it back off to Armstrong. Some confusion as Clark wanted to cut afterward. 10 on the shot clock, out to Gooden. And in transition, Pearsall with the scoop shot on the right side. Too strong off the far side of the rim and boarded by the Pacers. But Clark gets across midcourt and has it pickpocketed by Pearsall. Spin move on her defender, ended by Murphy. Now an 11-point lead for the Pride with 2:50 to play in the second quarter. McKenzie in traffic, tries her hand at a floater from the elbow. It thuds off the backboard, rebounded by the Pride. In transition, Crawford up to Pearsall. Goes over the rim, but it's boarded and put back in by Burton. 13-point lead for the Pride as Coach Kelly Johnson is going to get a timeout. We're going to get a full timeout here with 2:36 to play in the first half of action. It's Greensboro College 40, William Peace University 27.
6 months from now, I'm going to be a dad. So there's one thing I want to change about me. This time, I'll do it for me and the baby. I'll quit smoking for good.
Most people don't succeed at it on yourself. Visit quitterinu.org or call 1-800-LUNG-USA for tools and tips from the American Lung Association. We support the Quitter in You.
This is William Peace Basketball on the Pacers Sports Network.
Halftime here on Senior Day at the Herm. Darren Vaught with you here on the Pacers Sports Network. Trail by 13, 40-27. It's the largest lead either team has had so far in this one. Pacers started the game on a 7-2 run, but it's the Pride. 2.5 minutes as McKenzie dribbles into the front court for William Peace. Bounce pass on the right wing. She's defended by Burton now. Dribbles against her, tried to get a pass up top to Gooden, but it's taken away by Carbone. Had no numbers as she was stopped by Gooden right at about 15 feet from the basket. Took one step too many as she was trying to find a teammate to pass it to. And the traveling violation gives it back to the Pacers. 40-27 Greensboro. 2:02 and ticking in the second quarter of play. Gooden gets it on the right wing. Dribbles past Carbone. Floats it up. It's off the back of the rim and out. Armstrong tried to save the rebound from going out at the baseline. Out of bounds and gives it back to the Pride, who lead 40-20. Janae Gill-Woods, the second senior on this Greensboro College team, checks into the game and to play point guard. They go to Height on the right wing, who dumps it inside to Courtney Pearsall, cutting toward the basket. She'll go up for two and is fouled. Has the ball knocked. Have a pair at the Pearsall's first of two off the left side of the rim and out. As Crawford will grab McCoy for Greensboro. Afternoon gets the second to fall through, nothing but net. So make that 2 of 4 and a 14-point lead for the Pride. McKenzie defended by Gill-Woods. Passes right side to Gooden, up top to Clark, and back to the left wing where it's Armstrong. Armstrong gives it to McKenzie and set bank shot off balance off of her right foot. That falls through, and it's a 12-point deficit for the Pacers. Gill-Woods up top to Gill-Woods in the corner for three, and it goes out of bounds right in front of the Pacers bench with 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the second quarter here at William Peace University. 40 for Kelly Johnson's bunch. Sends a pass to Gooden, although she was cutting up toward the elbow, and the pass is overthrown off of Gooden's hand and out of bounds. That'll give it back to Greensboro as Joyner and Stanton check back into the game. And ticking until halftime. Crawford enters the front court for the Pride. Floats up a pass to the left wing. Height for three again. No contesting. Pounded off the back of the rim by the Pacers. 30 seconds to play until halftime. McKenzie, crossover at the top of the key, puts up a shot, and it's 131. Height again for three from the left corner this time. All net, and that separates it by 13 once again. 8 seconds. Gooden on the left wing. Dribbles to the top of the key, puts up a little baby hook. No rim, and it's boarded by the Pride. Half-court heave goes in from the hand of Brianna Stanton. And just like that, a 6-point swing, point lead for the Pride. As we enter the half, 47-31. High-scoring game as well at that. Stanton put that one up with no net as time expired in the second quarter of action. So it's 47-31. Greensboro College leads over William Peace University here at the half in our first game of two that we'll bring you on the Pacers Sports Network. Darren Vaught with you, bringing you all the action. They as well host Greensboro College at 5 p.m. Former men's basketball player at William Peace, Michael Wolf, now an assistant coach at Emory and Henry College. Another Division III school of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. As a matter of fact, Peace played them last year in the regular season in non-conference play. Greensboro College 47, William Peace 31 at the half. Stay with us.
Driving less? Vacationing close to home? These are things a lot of us do to use less gas. Some people are doing even more. They're working with local planners to create communities where jobs, schools, and public transportation are walkably close. Places where leaving the car at home is part of the plan. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org.
Army Specialist Lance Gieselman was paralyzed when his tank was blown up in Iraq.
I was an only survivor.
Paralyzed Veterans of America is an independent organization dedicated to ensuring our injured veterans get all the benefits they've earned and need. Paralyzed Veterans Senior National Service Officer Anthony Steele.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to serve our veterans.
If you would like to help our veterans,
on this, but as a student, you were right in the middle of downtown Raleigh, where there's plenty to do, never any shortage of fun things to, notably kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of in a world of its own. It's this nice little micro-society, which does that play to, I guess, your enhanced role as a coach now in terms of, maybe it was a little more fun to be in Raleigh and now you can kind of put your focus toward your work?
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. having the college experience in Raleigh and big city, and like you said, all the benefits